Hello, my name is Mr. Thompson. As all y'all know, I am the principal at the high school. I'd like to thank the Kiwanis Club for the opportunity to talk to you about a program going on at our school. Our robotics team, Mechanical Metal. Mechanical Metal is a member of FIRST. It is a robotic team of FIRST. FIRST stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology. It was founded in 1989. And as the name implies, it's all about getting students inspired into STEM fields, science and technology. There are 4 different leagues in FIRST. Lego League Junior, which starts at age 5 and builds all the way up to us at ages 15 through 18, FIRST Robotics. And FIRST Robotics is also known as FRC, FIRST Robotics Challenge. It is, as I just mentioned, it is composed of age 15 to 18-year-old students, high school students, who are interested in science and technology. This year, our team was made up of 18 freshmen and 1 foreign exchange student who was a junior. There are teams worldwide of this. We are one of only 2 teams in our region. The other one being Chaffee. What we have to do in this FRC is we have to build a robot, and you can see our game-used robot here, in 6 weeks. So we were given 2 totes of supplies and kind of a guide. A lot of things you can't see in there. We have, it's called a Robo Rio. It's where all our coding goes into. We have our own Wi-Fi box, so our robot can be operated wirelessly, like it is a competition. And a lot of different gears and motors in there came in this kit. We had to supplement this with a lot of other things. And we had, as I mentioned, we had 6 weeks to build this. It was very difficult for us to build this because in that 6 weeks because we were new, we didn't really know what was going on. Like I said, there weren't a lot of people around to help us. We got a hold of Chaffee, and their sponsor was able to help our sponsor, with some things. But that was week 5 in the build season. There were 6 weeks. Our students were great. The students were up here working until past, way past school hours on the weekends. Towards the end of this, to make sure their robot could be built and bagged. The robot had to be bagged and tagged. A photo had to be taken of it so that people did not cheat in this. Okay, FRC is very expensive. Okay, like I said, it cost $6,000 for a rookie team. We were able to offset that price. Our sponsor wrote a grant and received a $4,000 grant for last year, or the rookie year. And then there's also $2,000 that was re-granted for us for this upcoming season. So it is very, very expensive. As you can see, it's $6,000 for a rookie event and $4,000 for each additional event. We only went to 1 official FIRST thing this year, just to kind of get our feet wet and go from there. Okay. The actual robot, as I mentioned, we had 6 weeks to build this robot. It looks a little worn right now. It's been through our regional event and the Missouri State Championships, which I'll start about here shortly. The main goal of the event was to pick up this Power Cube. The Power Cube is also just a fancy cover over a milk crate. And we had to move that milk. We had to move the milk crate. We had 2 minutes and 45 seconds to do this, with the first 15 seconds being the autonomous period. During the autonomous period, our robots need to cross a line. After our first match, it didn't. We played 10 matches at the St. Louis regional event. We won 6 of them as a member of our alliance, which was very exciting. But like I said, we had to cross a line. We did it 9 times out of 10, 9 consecutive times. And we were a member of an alliance. You can kind of see at the bottom here is our red bumpers. We had to move. We were on the red alliance, the blue alliance. We changed up almost every time. And we wish we could have been on the red alliance 5 straight times, and then the blue alliance 5 straight times. It would have been a lot easier for our team and our sponsor. But we were on an alliance with 2 other teams, and we had to move the cube into one of 3 areas, either the switch, the scale, or the vault. Our robot this year was very small, and it could not put anything onto the scale. The scale is about 4 foot tall. We did not have the mechanisms this year to be able to put it up that high. So we either went and picked up the cube and put it in the switch, or we pushed them mostly to the vault. Whereas the vault, if you got 3 cubes in one of 3 areas in the vault, you could get a you get bonus. You get bonus points for your team. Like I said, this was a lot of teamwork was involved in this. That's one very good thing about First. Okay, First participants in general have a 75% of those students increase their communication skills and their conflict resolution skills. And that was a lot of things. There were some times where we'd be mad at the other team because it would actually cost us in the semifinals of the state championship because the team did not, a team pretty much shut their robot down about 15 seconds early, and we ended up losing by 5 points, mostly because of that. But our communication, we'd have to go and we would talk to other members of our alliance to make sure, to make sure what we wanted to do. Most of the time, we put things into the vault. We were very effective at pushing these power cubes into the vault. But other times, especially when we're playing with some very experienced teams, we would go and we would just play defense. Our drivers, we had 2 drivers. They each had a remote control. This was a remote control for the driver just to move the robot, and then our other driver controlled the arms and the scoop to be able to move the cube when we got next to it. We also had 2 other members down on the field at the same time as the 2 drivers, and they were responsible either for looking out and being a spotter or moving the cubes into the vault once they were off the playing field. But like I said, each match was 2 minutes 45 seconds, and the first 15 seconds was autonomous, as I said that. And our goal as an alliance was to control the switch to the scale of the vault for the most amount of time. Buttons were one thing that we didn't know about this year. They were kind of a bartering tool. Teams were very, very, very helpful. Okay, they would come help you, but when they came and help you, they always wanted a button. Our sponsor did not know about this, neither did any of the members of our team. So we know for next year, we have to have our buttons as a bartering tool. Okay, about our team, as I mentioned, we had 18 freshmen and 1 foreign exchange student. Why did we start this team? It's because when we were looking at ways to enhance our school curriculum, we started an honors physics class this year with 18 of our best freshmen, and doing some research, we found that robotics was the ultimate sport for the mind. It was, as I mentioned, you had 6 weeks that these students had to do, that they had to build the robot and make it function and code it for what it wanted to do. Like that 6 weeks was very, 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 very intensive. And the rules were unbelievably strict. And so our kids, they had to find these rules and apply the rules. We had a major problem in that we measured something wrong, and we were an 1/8 of an inch off. We went to our regional, and our sponsor didn't catch this and neither did the kids. And so we almost had to rebuild we had to cut our robot down just so that 1/8 of an inch it would fit in there. Like I said, and we started this team because studies show that if you're first members are 2.6 times more likely to enroll in an engineering course in college, and that's our ultimate goal. We want our students to graduate from our school and to move on to college, and be very, very successful. And a big push right now is STEM fields. The STEM fields, workforce fields are not being filled right now by American people. When at our regional event, they mentioned something like 200,000 jobs next year will not be filled in the United States in the STEM field because we don't have people trained for this. So we looked at this robot team to get kids interested in this and to be able to find those jobs and to fulfill those jobs. One thing we had to do this year is we got about 2/3 of the way through the build season in February and realized we're not going to have everything we need. And so we started Donors Choose. I had the sponsor and I came up with a list of what we found as essential items. Just things that you wouldn't think of. Multiple sets of Allen wrenches. A lot of our robot is put together with small nuts and bolts, and we needed Allen wrenches, end wrenches for that. We need grinders. One thing that we weren't able to use this year, but that we were able to get through the community through your support was a 3D printer. I mentioned our radio and our Robo Rio that are inside of it are very fickle. You know, the power in there has to stay constant to them, but they automatically shut themselves down. And so next year we'll be able to, hopefully, you know, next year we'll be able to print cases for those things to go in to make them a lot more secure. I mentioned that we went to the St. Louis Regional, and there were 49 teams there, and we were the rookie inspiration. We were one of only 2 rookie teams there, and our sponsor and our kids did a great job. Now, I mentioned that